It was just over a decade ago when the Pistons and the Miami Heat forged a rivalry in their battle for Eastern Conference supremacy, wrestling for the conference crown in both 2005 and 2006. Tonight they clash again, but this time their playoff lives are at stake as both fight to lay claim for one of the final spots in the East. In the Pistons corner, Big Ben Wallace, who makes his final visit to the Palace, where he proved to be one of the NBA's greatest defenders. They look to the past, and a fight for the future begins right now.
All I got to say is, Detroit basketball.
Thanks, Big Ben. Many of these fans hoping to get a glimpse of Big Ben Wallace and hoping, of course, for a Piston win tonight in a most important basketball game. Here are our starting lineups. Miami now without the most important Dion Waiters, out with a sprained ankle. Goes with Josh Richardson and Goran Dragic in the backcourt. Rodney McGruder, Luke Babbitt, and Hassan Whiteside up front. Pistons make a lineup change. John Lure back in. Tobias Harris will come off the bench. Marcus Morris, John Lure, and Andre up front. Ish Smith and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the backcourt. Reggie Jackson rested again tonight. The officials are Mark Davis, Benny Adams, and Kevin Cutler. Cutler will make the throw. He's got to throw way up in the air, and Whiteside manages to tap it. Whiteside is a 7-footer, and Miami gets it first. Dragic gives it up. They'll move the ball. Spinning and dishing it back outside to McGruder is Richardson, and he buries it from behind the long line.
Pistons will have to be very careful with their help and recovery tonight, especially getting out to that three-point line. The Heat, a big part of their significance is their ability to knock down those shots from beyond the arc.
KCP with a drive, avoided the block shot, hits the deck, doesn't get a whistle, but he does get the deuce. It's 3-2. Dragic against Ish. Whiteside screens. Dragic will back out. Now inside for Whiteside. Here's the hook off the heel. Rebound, John Lure.
You'll notice the big bandage on the right hand of Whiteside. Suffered a laceration, required 13 stitches a few games ago, but Georgie hasn't missed any time with it.
You gotta be impressed with that. Marcus taking it down low and scores. It's 4-3. Whiteside screens. Dragic this time with a shot right down the middle.
You'll notice that both of their three-point makes have come off passes. They will get it inside, and they'll make that extra pass out so that the shooter standing at the three-point line has a little extra time to get comfortable with the shot.
Little draw and kick action. Here is Ish getting a nice screen from Andre. Ish off the high glass, dances, won't drop. Rodney McGruder with a rebound. Dragic shouldered down by Ish. Benny Adams will call the foul. Eric Spoelstra has to get plenty of Coach of the Year consideration.
I'll say.
They look to be buried in the lottery, and now they forge their way into the top 8 in the East.
You can write a book on this season, George.
Wouldn't he? Dragic from the paint, shot won't fall, rebound, taken away from Andre by Whiteside, but he couldn't score it. Ish with a rebound. John Lure against Luke Babbitt with a paint shot, blocked by Babbitt, but a whistle and a foul. Babbitt did foul him. John Lure at the line. Stay tuned to Pistons Live after the game. We will select the Fox Sports Detroit Pistons Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's. Stop by for your breakfast favorites being served all day at McDonald's. John Lure with a pair of free throws. 6-all. Richardson goes back to Dragic on the wing now against KCP. Shot clock at 8. Whiteside screens. Babbitt, feet together, corner gun doesn't go. Rebound John Lure to Ish. Contavious from distance, off the rim. Andre boards it though. His pass into the bank got by Ish. Dragic the other way. Whiteside decides to drive it, flips it up and in. He got around Andre. It's 8-6 Miami.
You notice how he sort of protects that hand, keeps the ball in both hands to try and guide it. It has impaired his shooting, but George, amazingly, he's averaged 17.5 over his last 2 games with that big bulky bandage on.
She said 13 stitches to close the cut. Andre works against Whiteside. Lefty hook is long. John Lure with a rebound. Shot clock still running. It's at 1. Ish got iron, no net. Rebound, Rodney Magruder. 6'5", Rodney Magruder out of Kansas State. Into the paint to Whiteside. He'll step out of the lane. Josh Richardson fires and fills it up. It's now 10-6 Miami. Dion Waiters not even on this trip because of that left ankle sprain.
And they miss him. 1-4 with that, 1-3 without him. Oh!
KCP down the lane. Whiteside blocked it. Shot clock still running as Contavious takes it outside. 5 on the clock. Long 2 won't go through. Dragic with a rebound. Whiteside with the screen and another and another. Ruder to Whiteside, had trouble catching it, but he hooks it and hits it anyway. Bandage and all, it's now 12-6. They're 5 for 9. Pistons don't want to fall in an early hole.
They keep throwing him fastballs, but he keeps catching them, doesn't he? Whiteside?
Yeah. Ish all the way to the rack. Big time basket. Make it 12-8 Heat.
Nice drive, and able to get in there before Whiteside can come over and affect the shot with his length.
Magruder using a screen and then throws it away. Over and back on the Heat.
Here's Whiteside. He's coming in at Andre Drummond, but watch how he'll carefully lay that thing up. He's not looking to dunk too many of them because he doesn't want to do any further damage to his already stitched up hand. And there he sort of protected it until he was fully ready to release it with the little hook.
Crossover by Ish. Drives it into traffic. Finds Contavious. John Lure to Marcus Morris. Clock at 10. Marcus down the lane. Double clutch gun won't go. Rebound tapped outside. Babbitt to Dragic. Dragic down deep. Lays it in. Nice jump stop by Goran Dragic. It's 14-8 Miami.
Well, Miami is showing a variety of ways that they can hurt you. Transition, obviously their kickouts, penetration, and then using their big center. I didn't think they used Whiteside a whole lot in the 2 games that he played, George. He had 6 points in one game, 9 in another. They almost ignored him, but I think especially now with Waiters out of the lineup, that's going to increase the opportunities for Whiteside to be offensively effective.
Now just now on Magruder. Clock at 10. Ish gives it up. KCP fires for 3. Tough luck, miss in and out. Andre there to clean it up. Hooks it back, and he hits it. Lefty off the glass.
That wasn't easy, folks. Especially with Whiteside looming.
14-10 Miami. Halfway through the first. Dragic coaxes KCP into a shove. That means 3 free throws. And Contavious picks up his first foul.
First, the fight to get the offensive rebound while being sandwiched. Now you got to get it up over the top of Whiteside with your offhand and off the glass. But Andre was able to pull it off. Check him out, folks. Like I said, not easy.
Hard work for Andre. Pulling the Pistons within 4. Now Dragic will shoot 3, however. Fans purchase those 17-18 season memberships for our first season downtown at Little Caesars Arena next winter. Call 248-377-0100 or visit Pistons.com. 1 for 2, and one more coming for Goran Dragic.
One.
Nails it. It's 16-10 Miami. Backcourt pressure by the Heat. Now they'll back off as Ish dribbles to forecourt. Tavius didn't look at the rim, gave it up to Marcus, who will drive it. Caught in the paint in front to Andre, though. Good pass, nice finish. 16-12.
There's a value to getting the ball inside. You know, you just never know what opening will surface, but getting it inside is important. And Marcus Morris got it in that time and ended up coming away with an assist.
Marcus on the other end called for a grab. That'll stop the action. It's 16-12 Miami. First foul on Marcus. Timeout, 5.5 to play in the first.
Justin White back at the Palace. Pistons down 4 early in this most important game against the Miami Heat. Well, just how important is this game? Well, check out what Stan Van Gundy said a short time before tip-off tonight. The head coach calling it as close to a must-win as I've had in the regular season. As we told you off the top, the Pistons a game and a half behind Miami. With a win, they close the gap to a half game. But if they lose, they are 2.5 behind the Heat. Stan Van Gundy going on to say that if they lose, quote, it isn't the end of the road, but you can see the end of the road from there. George and Greg.
Thank you, Justin. See Stan Van Gundy. He's going to argue about every call tonight. He needs every call. 5 on the clock for Miami. Richardson with a smooth 3. Josh Richardson with 5. They're 3 for 4 from distance. The Pistons nothing out of 3 from behind the long line. 19-12 Miami. KCP bumped on a triple try. The latest NBA trick. 3 free throws coming up because of the foul on Josh Richardson. Miami with Willie Reed in the middle. The Pistons with Tobias in up front.
You know what I think is going to start happening with that? Guys are going to start going under as opposed to trailing George. They're going to go under the screen so that they can avoid the contact that will definitely come if a guy gets the handoff and just stops and elevates. You're going to run into him, you're going to get a piece of him, and you're going to put him on the free throw line. So I think coaches will eventually start telling their guys to go underneath the screen on that, meet him on the other side. If he stops and reverses, then maybe you switch it or maybe you fight to get back over.
Yeah.
But we're seeing that so many times. We've already seen it twice. One for Miami and now KCP in this game, in this quarter.
Johnson's are in, James and Tyler for Miami. There's James Johnson on top. With physical player, shot blocked though by Andre. Stanley Johnson off the Piston bench to forecourt. Line bounce to Tobias. Outside for Stanley. He will drive it, get to the rim, flip it up and fill it up.
I don't know how. Sometimes, folks, it's just good to be lucky because Stanley lost control of that ball, but it found the basket.
Dragic in front to Reed. Shot won't go. Andre corrals the rebound. Ish almost lost it to Tyler Johnson. Corner feed, KCP. Triple try, no. Rebound, Andre getting them all. Stanley deep on the wing. Misfires.
There's another one.
Tapped inadvertently in by Reed. Closest was Tobias. He'll get credit. And it's 19-19, and Miami takes a timeout.
2 unlucky baskets by the, unlikely, I should say, very lucky baskets by the Pistons. Look at this. Stanley somehow got it to go.
You're watching Piston basketball on Fox Sports Detroit. Now the Comcast Business home security defense. A lot of home security defense from that man in his time here. So many blocks and steals, charges taken, and flat out stops that Ben Wallace was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. Only Dikembe Mutombo has equaled that.
You know, George, he showed signs in Washington. He got even better in Orlando, and he just absolutely blew up here in Detroit. I don't think the Pistons even came close to knowing what they had when they got Ben Wallace in the early 2000s.
Steal by Joe Dumars. Tyler Johnson steps into the open, and the shot won't fall. Reed tapped it in. Ooh. Aaron Baines is on in the middle for the Pistons. Benno Udre in at point guard. Remember Reggie Jackson being rested as he was last night. So Benno's number 2 at point guard. It's a screen from Tobias. Gets to the lane. Back outside of Stanley Johnson. Shot clock 4. Stanley's going to have to fire. Does with 1 on the clock. It's wide. Rebound chased down by KCP. Way outside to Stanley. 21-19 Miami. 3:09 to play in the first. Tobias from distance drains it. And the Pistons have a 1-point lead.
Nice possession by the Pistons. They made Miami have to work overtime by not getting a defensive rebound and eventually able to find Tobias unguarded, shooting that 3-pointer.
Miami moving the basketball under Tyler Johnson. James Johnson gives it up to Richardson. And now Dragic to Magruder. His 3 won't go through. Benno with a rebound. Stanley Johnson will drive it. Dish it outside to KCP. Plenty of shot clock. It's at 15. Tobias has Tyler Johnson on him. Nice mismatch. Johnson has to reach and foul.
Take a look at Tobias now. Stan Van Gundy says this is the part of Tobias's game that can use some improvement. The 3-point shooting accuracy. Certainly no problem with his accuracy there on a second chance opportunity.
Yes, such a nice stroke.
Yeah.
Marcus Morris with a long gun. Rebound Willie Reed. James Johnson to forecourt. Pistons with a 1-point lead. Just over 2 to play in the first. Johnson lost the ball on the floor. Marcus Morris takes it away from Reed. Here comes Tobias, but he's 1 on 3. Drives it inside. Ball taken away. Knocked away by Magruder. Dragic down the lane. Bumped by Tobias. They'll call the foul.
First in the last 2 minutes.
To the hoop call for Dragic.
You can see both teams intent on not allowing anything easy. Miami successfully getting back against Tobias and stripping him. But the Pistons were not going to allow Dragic to get a layup. They put him on the floor, sent him to the free throw line.
Gets the first. Join us for the final regular season home game at the Palace. Monday, April 10th at 8. Hall of Fame players have been here. Championship moments. And, of course, the best fans anywhere. Be part of that memorable night. For your tickets, go to Pistons.com. Dragic gets 1. Aaron Baines with the rebound. We're tied at 22. Stanley Johnson against Tyler Johnson. Marcus Morris against Wayne Ellington has just come on. Shot clock inside 5. They'll back him in, turn and fire. It's off the heel. Tyler Johnson forecourt to Dragic. Backpedaling is Benno. They'll flip it in front and Reed converts.
Got to make that ball stop a little farther away. The deeper Dragic gets, the more your defense has to collapse. And that's when cutters like Reed a moment ago can be damaging.
Benno misses from the elbow. James Johnson to forecourt. Tyler Johnson bothered by Stanley, forced him into a turnover. 1:04 to play in the first. Miami with a 2-point lead. The Pistons with the basketball. Miami with a 1.5 game lead on the Pistons for the final playoff position in the Eastern Conference. by Tobias. He'll get it back and drive it. Gets it up off the glass and down. Tobias was 7 off the bench. We're tied at 24. 45 seconds to play in the first. Josh Richardson. Rebound Tobias to Benno. Marcus Morris takes the bounce, drives, scores. But it's going to be an offensive foul.
Oh, that's too bad, George. You know, I really like the decision to take it inside and seek contact. We talked about it before the New York game last night, where this is when Marcus is most effective, when he is trying to go inside. Let's see what happens here. He kind of threw his body into Reed. Reed got the benefit of this call. He's well outside of the circle.
Looked like Reed did get there in time.
If I'm Marcus, though, I'm coming more.
Ellington from the wing, way short on the triple drive. Rebound, though, to Josh Richardson. Outside for Ellington. Miami has 10 seconds to get something here to finish off the first.
They got 6 men on the court right now, too.
Including Eric Spoelstra. Crossover drive, James Johnson. Pistons force a miss as time runs out in the first. Hey, so far so good for Stan Van Gundy, Marcus Morris, and the Pistons. In a huge game here at the Palace. The Pistons and the Miami Heat tied at 24 after 1 here on Fox Sports Detroit. We're tied at 24 after 1. The Pistons and the Heat. Pistons shot just 39%, but they crushed them on the boards. 7 offensive rebounds. 7 second chance points. Tobias, who led the Pistons, was 7 in the first. Gives it up to Benno Udrih. Inside Aaron Baines. Missed the shot, missed the tap. Rebound saved on the end line by Ellington.
There have been several times when Miami has been able to save what looked like a sure basket, come up with some type of defensive play. That time taking away Aaron Baines' easy angle off the glass, George. Made that a much tougher shot.
Tyler Johnson to James Johnson, who will get it back from Ellington. Topside Tyler Johnson, triple try, no. Rebound Aaron Baines. Benno Udrih finds Tobias. Marcus Guns off the heel. Willie Reed with a rebound. First minute, second quarter, still tied at 24. Going inside is James Johnson for the score. 26-24 Miami. Andre's about to return. Marcus Morris wants it against Josh Richardson, who thought he was fouled. Benny Adams calls the foul on Richardson.
Baines is going out. Andre's coming in. But I think part of the reason why Aaron Baines is going out, watch his left arm. Watch this thing sort of get caught in there, possibly even hyperextended at the elbow.
Gotta hope not.
He's in some distress, George.
Yeah, that's painful, you can tell. Marcus screens for Benno. With 6 on the clock, the whistle blows on Tyler Johnson.
Tough guy right there, and when his head is down, grimacing, you know it's real.
Yeah.
It's serious.
He's already thinking about how he can get back in the game.
Sure.
Benno Udrih on at point guard, gives it up to Tobias. Long gun, no. Richardson to forecourt. Stop and go move to the basket. Double clutch miss, but he does draw a foul. That's going to be the third on Marcus Morris. This will put Richardson at the free throw line. 6. Time for Defending the Boards, brought to you by Legal Genius. 10+ rebounds versus the Heat. 17 straight times for Ben Wallace. 15 for the Worm, Dennis Rodman. 14 for Andre. And 14 for Dwight Howard. And now Marcus, who picked up that 3rd foul, picks up a technical as well. Ellington will shoot the tech. And he missed it. So maybe the other Philadelphian plays big for the Pistons, or has. Rasheed Wallace would say the ball don't lie.
Yeah, take it.
Both he and Marcus from North Philly. One a North Carolina Tar Heel, the other a Kansas Jayhawk, but both Pistons. Richardson gets both free throws on the foul called on Marcus. It's 28-24. Benno Udrih, top side of Tobias, working against James Johnson. Shot clock down to 10 for Benno against Tyler Johnson. Tobias from the paint, shortened it up, missed it. Rebound, Willie Reed, who's done a nice job coming off the bench. He has 4 boards. Ellington on the perimeter. James Johnson with a screen. Ellington with a rainbow gun that goes.
Pretty good move to get separation from Stanley Johnson, who was defending against the drive, but could not recover on the stop pull-up fade.
Stan Van Gundy calls timeout. 9:43 to play in the half. Since the 2nd quarter began, the Heat with a 6-0 run.
Ben was all about winning. You know, he was all about winning. It wasn't about numbers. You know, he got a lot of rebounds, but it wasn't about numbers with Ben. It was about doing what he could to help the team win, which was all the dirty work, all the hard work. And I think it's really fitting that the Pistons retire his number, because I think Ben Wallace embodies everything that people think about when they think about Pistons basketball.
Great description from Stan Van Gundy. There's Big Ben.
Love that guy.
Great reception from the crowd here. One of the all-time favorite Pistons, and with good reason. We'll sit down with him at the half to talk about the Palace and the good old days.
Stan Van Gundy saying it best, George. He was about the winning. He was about the winning.
Here's the Flagstar Bank starring role tonight. Ben Wallace. Tobias screens for Benno Udrih. Baseline gun goes for Benno. Former member of the Heat. Pistons needed that out of the timeout. Tyler Johnson against Stanley Johnson. Ellington shoots a pass to James Johnson. Now Tyler Johnson will drive off to Willie Reed. Misses to Andre. 9:10 to play in the half. Benno fires again, fills it up again.
Ooh, maybe starting to find a little groove. Had some good moments, but, you know, hampered by the 5 turnovers, which I attributed to rust in New York. Benno Udrih knows how to play this game.
And has skill.
And he can score.
Tyler Johnson penetrates, gives it up to Reed. Clock at 4 for James Johnson. Double clutch Glasser, no. Look at Reed, live body up and rebounds and sticks it back for a score.
Reed is the guy you got to find, you know, and if Andre has to go help out defensively, somebody's got to step in the void and block Reed out. That's how Reed scores on the offensive glass, folks.
6 points, 5 rebounds, 9 minutes. Tobias just now called for the offensive foul.
Here, Andre has to go and help out on Jones. But then somebody's got to help Andre out. I mean James Johnson. But somebody's got to step in there and help Andre so that Reed doesn't collect.
Reed will come out. Bennett, he played well. Hassan Whiteside checks in. They get Okaro White in the game. Signed to a couple of 10 days and then for the rest of the year. Lucky miss for the Pistons. Whiteside at point blank range could not convert. Andre to John Leward. Jump catch, turn and gun off the glass, no. Rebound tapped by Whiteside, controlled by James Johnson. Pistons down 4. Johnson goes to the left hand for the score, and he has drawn a foul.
You know, George, there's just something about Johnson. When the Pistons play this guy, he seems to shine. Very strong going inside, plays through considerable contact right there. Switches the ball to his offhand and finishes it.
John Lewar committed his first foul this season against the Pistons. Those numbers will back you up, Gregory. 17 and 6 rebounds. 8-0 Miami run. The Pistons trail now 35-28. KCP, wing gun, no. Rebound, Tyler Johnson.
You know, I just think KCP has to find easier shots, George. You know, right now he's trying to shoot himself into a rhythm, but from outside, maybe a little too far out. Get a couple of makes and then move it out.
Whiteside inside on Andre for the score.
You know,
that's 10 straight for the Heat. Pistons need to be careful right now.
You're absolutely right about that. And Hassan Whiteside, sometimes, George, having your strong hand impaired builds your confidence in your other hand, and that might be what's happening with Whiteside, going with that lefty a moment ago.
Stanley Johnson with a triple. Found himself wide open, didn't hesitate. The Pistons are within 6. Just under 7 to play in the half. Lob inside to Whiteside. Andre fouls him. And put Whiteside on the line. First foul on Andre.
Down 10. Did they need this? Did they need this, folks?
Oh,
Is this a big bucket here? George, I'm going to tell you the really, really quick but true Magic Johnson story. Urban Magic Johnson was in high school. He was 17 years old. He'd already signed to come play at Michigan State, and he was playing pickup ball with us over at Jennison Fieldhouse one afternoon. He had played in a tournament somewhere over the weekend and had suffered a cut similar to the one Whiteside is dealing with. Needed about 13 or 14 stitches. Guess what? His right hand was fully, heavily bandaged. The young man came out and dominated with his left hand. It was unbelievable, and that's when I knew that Urban Magic Johnson was something special.
Wow. Great story, Gregory, about one of the great players ever. 2 free throws for Whiteside, who shoots better than 60% from the stripe. It's now 39-31. Dish to the paint for the Pistons, flicked away. Dragic on the run. From the corner. Ellington with the miss. John Lewar captures the rebound. That's an important rebound there. 6.5 to play in the half. Ish with a crossover and a drive and a scoop and a score.
Oh, Whiteside caught high, and Dragic with nobody in the back door for him, and that was an easy blow by for Ish Smith. That's Ish recognizing there's no help there. All I got to do is beat one guy.
Pistons staying close enough. Ellington inside for White. His pass gets away. Scooped up by Ellington, who loses it. John Lewar ahead to KCP. To the rim. Flips it up and in. Nice. Looked like he was hit.
Remember when I said getting something easy? That wasn't as easy as you would have liked. But KCP getting that layup could be a portent of good things to come for him. Just getting a basket here.
Pistons arguing for a foul from Mark Davis on that drive, but they'll take the hoop. The Heat with a timeout. The Pistons are back within 4.
Well, after trailing by 10, the Pistons got busy defensively and got themselves some buckets. But first, check out Stanley Johnson with the shot clock winding down. Ish Smith, a little blow-by right there, no defense at the hoop. And this we'll label our big money defensive moment, brought to you by Menards. It came off the defensive steal. Defense to offense. KCP wanting a foul, didn't get it, but still make that all-important layup. And the Pistons are right back in this, just down 4.
Miami out of the timeout. Richardson inbounds to Dragic. 4 starters and Okaro White on the floor for the Heat. Dragic's shot off the high glass and he hits it.
Well, you got to be careful giving him the left hand. He is strong left-handed. Now, I know that Stanley Johnson was trying to funnel him to Andre, but Andre wasn't going to fully commit because he's got to make sure he keeps with Whiteside. That was an easy basket for Dragic.
10 for Dragic. Ish lobs it to Andre. Knocked away and out of bounds by Miami. 9 on the 24. Dragic made the defensive play after scoring on the other end. Out comes the rookie Okaro White from Florida State. Back comes James Johnson. Ish finds the shot, sends it short. Andre with the rebound, pulled it down, and it's out of bounds.
George, I'm going to tell you something. Andre may be getting his hands on a few offensive rebounds, but the Heat, obviously, strategy-wise,
just warming him.
Ganging up on him and not letting him get a shot back up after the offensive rebound.
Magruder went after the basketball there. 5 and 17 to play in the half. Goran Dragic gets to forecourt. Gets where he wants to. He's in the lane. Into the corner for Richardson. Misfires. Clock still running at 8 for James Johnson. Now it's at 5. He will fire. Off the rim. Rebound Ish. Ish Smith to forecourt. Stop and go down the lane to the rim. Nearly jammed it.
I thought he was.
It's laid it finally over the front of the iron. The Pistons are within 4.
Good acceleration. I mean, when he's coming at you full speed, it's hard to be able to deal with his extra cut and explosion near that hoop.
Dragic, a different kind of driver, but he gets there just the same. For a score, it's 43-37.
Power drive versus speed drive.
Andre screens for Ish. Back to the big man, back to Ish. Sees a little bit of daylight. Double clutch miss. Andre with a rebound. Whiteside hanging on to his jersey. He's called for his first foul.
Here, watch this. Ish is coming. Now he kicks it into another gear right here. And that cut right there, hard to deal with, George.
Pistons inbound the ball to John Lewis. Saves it from going back behind the timeline. Double screen for Ish. Lob inside. Andre touches it up. No. Rebound Whiteside to James Johnson to Goran Dragic. Dragic stops, fires, fills it up. Tough sequence for the Pistons there. And now they're down 8, 45-37. Dragic 5 out of 6 for 14.
20-second timeout.
And Stan Van Gundy will take a 20-second timeout with 3:46 till halftime. Big ball game at the Palace on Fox Sports Detroit.
This is taking on the Brooklyn Nets. Final time here at the Palace, Thursday, 7:30. The iconic arena has only a few regular season games remaining. Get all the tickets tonight, section 117. Muslim fans, your 17-18 Detroit Pistons season number children are ready. The inaugural season of Little Caesars is soon. Get your tickets before you leave the arena tonight.
Let's go back to college with Nissan. We're going back to college with Big Ben Wallace. Sitting there next to Pistons Vice Chairman Arn Tellem and Earl the Twirl Curate. Arn was Ben's agent. Helped him make Boku bucks, but back at Virginia Union University, he was just a hard-working player. Averaged 13 and 10 rebounds. Had a very good senior year. Ish to the lane, gives it up to Tobias. Clock at 10. Ish with the clock at 7, gets by everybody and finally is bumped and fouled. Mark Davis calls the foul. It's the first on Dragic.
Dragic, he is first.
Big free throws, and the first one goes. It's 45-38.
You can see Ish Smith is becoming more aggressive, more elusive here in this second quarter.
A little help from the rack twice. 45-39. Dragic gets a screen from Whiteside, but misses to Andre. Forecourt to Stanley Johnson. Andre screens. Stanley topside to Ish. Goes behind the back, dives on the floor as he nearly loses it, takes a timeout.
He got it. He had the heads up there. You hate to lose that timeout, but he was awarded it as opposed to the turnover.
3:06 to play in the half. When we return, the shot clock will read 9. The scoreboard reads Miami 45 and the Pistons 39. Goran Dragic, the only guy in the ballgame in double digits. He has scored 14 in just shy of 15 minutes.
Well, he's made some sound decisions. His recognition has been on point here. He realizes while Stanley Johnson is kind of pushing him towards Andre, he is strong hand left. And he's not going to challenge Andre, but he's going to victimize Stanley, who's sort of trailing on the play now by going off the glass. And then here again, getting inside. This is what he does, and he can finish. But if you clamp him, he'll kick it out for three-point shooters. But here in transition, another good decision on the pull-up. This is just a very good player and a huge part of their resurgence after starting 11 and 30. That was some elite execution by Goran Dragic, but presented by Mr. Allen's George.
This is at least some mid execution of their own. 2 on the clock. Ish running. Glasser goes. 45-41. 8 in the second for Ish. 10 so far tonight. Pistons within 4. 2:44 to play in the half. That's Magruder getting a screen from Whiteside. Floating gun around and down.
Stanley Johnson doing the best he can to stay with him, but that was a pretty sizable screen that eliminated Stanley on that play, allowing Magruder to get inside.
2.5 to play in the half. Tobias from the top, and it drops.
Nice.
Huge hoop. Now it's a 3-point game. Two and 10 till halftime. James Johnson, though, to the basket. Great to have him on the floor. If you're Eric Spoelstra in the Heat, he just gets it done. 49-44, Miami. Tobias with the drive, turns in front, fires, it falls. He has a dozen.
It's a hard guy to deal with one-on-one, even when you're strong like James Johnson.
Minute and 35 to play in the half. Whiteside with a miss. Way up for the rebound goes Andre. Pistons rush it up. KCP fills it up.
See that pass, George? That was a brilliant pass by Ish Smith. A low skipper off the floor, off the bounce. And it had to be low in order to reach his target, KCP.
Foul on Contavious. 3 more free throws coming for Dragic.
Watch this pass.
Bam.
Skip it low. Underneath the defense, but perfect for KCP right there.
Minute and 14 to play in the half. Dragic to shoot 3. 2 more coming as the first one goes. The Pistons making their push for the playoffs. Lock in your seats. Get priority playoff pricing by calling 248-377-0100 or going to Pistons.com. John Lure for Tobias with a minute and 14 to play in the half. Two for 3 for Dragic. Ish to forecourt. That's Contavious. Screen from Andre. From the wing. Got it! Long two, and the Pistons are within one. 50 seconds to play in the half.
I like the fact that KCP shortened that shot up. He didn't stay out there hunting a three. Got something in closer and better.
Magruder runs it up off the glass and gets it. Miami back up by 3. 38 seconds to play in the half. Ish with 30 seconds to play in the half. KCP's shot is going to come off the rim to Whiteside. 53-50 Miami. No shot clock. 16 seconds till halftime. We talked to Big Ben Wallace at midcourt at the break. Dragic gets a Whiteside screen. Whiteside inside for Magruder, and a score with 1.2 to play in the half.
Well, Magruder, a lot of damage here late.
Contavious from three-quarter court, no. And Miami will take a 5-point lead to the locker room. Coming up in the Dodge halftime report, we'll celebrate the final best-of-7 night here at the Palace as we sit down with number 3, Big Ben Wallace on Fox Sports Detroit. There's that very deserving number 3 up in the rafters here. Joined now by Chauncey's number 1 and Rip Hamilton's number 32. Ben told Mickey York earlier he wants Rasheed Tayshaun and Larry Brown up there too.
I can understand that.
Yep. They're all part of that championship. Pistons get a good first possession after the Heat scored the final 4 in the first half to go up 5 at the break. The Pistons trim it to 2. On the Andre score.
Nice to see that first play going to Andre. Andre needs to have more touches. He needs to be able to put more pressure on Whiteside as he has in their first 2 matchups.
Critical call right here. Magruder went inside, and Marcus Morris just picked up his 4th foul.
Wow. Well, let's see what Stan will do. I think about last night when Carmelo Anthony picked up 2 in the first minute and a half, 2 minutes of the game, and Jeff Hornacek stayed with him, and he ended up having a huge impact on the game. Looks like Stan might be thinking about rolling the dice here with with Marcus.
I think he's going to. Rodney Magruder at the line. Got 1 for 2, rebound tapped around. Andre has it. Magruder, the second member of the Heat to get to double digits. 56-52 Miami. Early moments, second half. Ish to the lane, fade away, fills it up.
Well, you want to take away his right hand? No problem. Ish goes left hand hard into the middle and did not try to challenge Whiteside. He had faith and confidence in his pull-up ability.
Luke Babbitt with a screen for Dragic. Magruder. Corner to Richardson, got to the paint, and Whiteside shot won't drop. Rolls off to Andre. Ish quickly to KCP. Stops, fires, no. Rebound, Whiteside. Dragic with a nice spin and then a floater, and he fills it up. That's a pro move right there.
If you can't keep him out of the paint, then you really can't guard Dragic. And I know it's difficult. It's certainly more difficult than just saying keep him out the paint. Stay in front of him. The guy is so crafty, but when he gets inside, he hurts you with his own or getting it to somebody else.
Ish got it blocked. Dragic with a hand on it. Babbitt called for the foul after the shot. Team fouls 1-1. Pistons shot clock at 3. KCP drains the deuce. 2-point game. Miami 58, the Pistons 56.
KCP's got a good rhythm going. Not necessarily hitting a bunch of shots, but getting in position to get shots, George. He looks aggressive, and that keeps him dangerous.
I like the looks of that. Whiteside reaches over Andre and taps in the Dragic miss. That hurts. It's 60-56, Miami.
Helps to be 7 feet. To reach up over people and tap it without fouling.
John Lure scoops it to Contavious. Bucket 6, now 5 for Marcus Morris. Now 2. Andre swatted out of bounds by Whiteside. That's a shot clock violation. Richardson.
Here, watch this long rebound, and Whiteside just enough redirect to get it off the glass.
Yeah, that's Josh Richardson who came in and got the swat. 9:09 to play in the third. Whiteside high screens for Dragic. Sideline 3 is through for Babbitt. Technical foul called on Stan Van Gundy. Babbitt connects for the first time in the ball game. Dragic will shoot the technical foul free throw. Missed it.
Lonely on that line, George.
Yeah.
Used to having that little human wall on both sides.
So it didn't cost his team anything.
Technical free throws aren't as easy as they may seem, folks. We've seen enough of them missed.
Miami 11 for 17 from the line. Pistons 7 out of 7. Dish looking for daylight. Top side, John Lure for the long gun. It won't go. Andre keeps it alive. Pulls it down. Back up. Draws the foul.
Power. That's a little muscle flex right there. Totally was not going to be denied. Wanted that offensive rebound, but again, Miami playing it smart. They're not going to allow for the finish. Watch Andre. Going to separate here. Get that ball. Keep it alive to himself, and then everybody's going to come to him as they have all game, George. Put him on the free throw line.
First one won't fall. Hungry Howie's with the Pistons' upcoming schedule. Brooklyn's here Thursday, at Milwaukee Friday. Then they're home against Toronto, and then they hit the road for Houston, Memphis after that.
And let me just say it now, there isn't an easy game on that schedule. Not one.
Marcus Morris with a tough luck miss on a tap after Andre missed both free throws. 63-56 Miami. Whiteside screens. Pocket 8 from Magruder. Josh Richardson launches, misses. Rebound, Marcus Morris. Ish inside to John Lure, posting. Babbitt turns, fires. Another tough luck miss. Rebound to Richardson. Now Dragic. Dragic to the rim. Scores it and draws the foul. Tough sequence for the Pistons. In and out tap, and then an in and out shot. And now a chance for a three-point trip for the Heat.
Goran Dragic is 6'3", 190, and he plays very strong with the basketball. Protects it with that body, and is able to get contact on his way to the hoop and finish. Not unusual to see him getting three-point opportunities.
Third foul on KCP means a three-point play for the Heat, but two of them come right back to the Pistons on the drive and deuce for Ish Smith. Dragic gives it up to Richardson, cross-court Magruder. Time for the gun, it doesn't go. Rebound Andre. That thing popped out. Ish to the baseline. Drew the foul. Benny Adams blows the whistle here. It's the third on Dragic. Join us for the final regular season home game at the Palace, April the 10th at 8. All the great memories here, the Hall of Fame players, the championships, and great fans. Be part of that memorable night. We will celebrate the rich history of this building. For tickets, go to Pistons.com. Tobias Harris for John Lure. This makes them both. 6-point Miami lead, 7.5 to play in the third. Richardson backing in along the baseline, double team. Babbitt down deep. Somehow Whiteside scores.
It's amazing what he's doing. You know, it's almost like he's shooting with half a hand. Anytime you got that much padding in the palm of your hand, the part that where the basketball rests on the shot, and you're still able to get 17 in a game and be fairly accurate, it's pretty good stuff.
Davies thought he was fouled on the miss. No whistle. Miami up 8 and with it, 6:44 to play in the third. Babbitt with a pump fake and a shot, and he sticks it, and now it's a 10-point game.
Miami moves that ball as well as any team in the league, folks. I'm telling you, very unselfish. They whip it around. You know, they put pressure on you as a defensive team, all 5 guys, with their willingness to pass it and spread the floor.
Pistons will take a timeout, trailing by 10. Ton of time left, though. The big fella, Ben Wallace, will join us in just a moment on Fox Sports Detroit. Piston basketball is presented by Bell Tire. Buffalo Wild Wings wild play. Shaq's on the floor. Ben with a block in the 06 conference finals. Nice to have Ben with us here courtside at the Palace. So many memories, huh? Every time you come back?
Man, some great memories here.
Ben, tell me, did you feel more intimidating with the fro or the cornrows?
Definitely with the fro. Definitely with the fro. You know, I can see the effect that the fro has had on the game now. Everybody in the game has a fro now.
Well, I love the fact that those signs were everywhere here about fear the fro. And kids had them. They go buy them someplace. I don't know where, but they all had them, didn't they?
They all had them. And I appreciate every last one of them.
Now it's a 12-point Miami lead. Time to get tough, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah, I'd like to see the Pistons play with a little more sense of urgency. We need this game.
Well, Tobias Harris delivers from downtown. Needs some stops. Interesting matchup in the middle. I know you're watching that intently.
Yeah,
Andre against Whiteside.
Those 2 guys been battling the whole game.
Then, speaking of stops, of which the Pistons desperately need to string them together, as George just indicated. As a defensive-minded player yourself, what do you see out there that the Pistons could perhaps incorporate in this quarter, try and get themselves back in it? Miami's proven to be very difficult with their ball movement and their floor spacing.
Yeah, I would like to see the Pistons start to take some things away. You know, shrink the floor a little bit. You know, force guys to play in a crowd. I think the guys are playing a little too relaxed out there. You know, I think we should force them to play in the crowd.
This 3 for Tobias after the offensive foul on Whiteside. KCP playing that passing lane. You like to see guys throwing their body around like that.
Yeah, I like to see guys flying around, getting in the passing lane, taking things away.
When you see a team, when you're doing that, you can see it in their eyes that they don't know exactly what's going to work and what isn't, right?
Yeah, you know, like I said, if you allow a team to play comfortable, come down and move the ball around and pass it where they want to pass it, they're going to be tough to defend. But if you get up in them and force them to play uncomfortable a little bit, you know, you can see them start to get tight, and you can work your way to get some stops.
Yeah, I want to get your impressions on where the game seems to be going more and more and more. Now, you got 2 big old-time, old-school centers out there in Whiteside and Andre, but so many teams are going away from that. Your thoughts on that aspect of the game, the small ball that we see so much of now?
Yeah, I mean, guys are going away from the traditional post-up and push it down inside. You know, they got more of the stretch fours. allowing guys to play outside and shoot the tray ball. I mean, it's exciting sometimes, but I would like to see it get back to a more traditional basketball game.
Yeah, you and me both. Sometimes the new age thinking is threes and layups and forget everything else.
Yeah, everybody fell in love with that tray ball.
Well, this game has certainly been tough inside as the two behemoths find themselves in each other's presence again and again. But Whiteside is showing more as a scorer in this game. I mentioned that in the first two matchups, he failed to reach double figures. Well, he's got 12 in this game as a scorer. Andre has been somewhat contained, but he has 12 rebounds, George. So both guys are aware of the other's presence in this game. And I still feel like this matchup can go a long way in determining the outcome.
Flipped each other's numbers, 6 and 12 for Andre, 12 and 6 rebounds for Whiteside. Foul just now on Andre. There you see the 6 and 12. Pistons starters shooting under 40%. The bench over 55%. Well, that was easy for Whiteside, a catch in the paint.
And a flush with the offhand, not the right hand.
Now it's 74-65. This is just trying to hang around, give themselves a chance. 4 to play in the third. Off the screen, Contavious rises and guns, and it goes. Good play. Get him heating up. And that would be a huge help.
That was good offense, well executed.
17 for Contavious. James Johnson with the basketball. Shoots it to Tyler Johnson. Step back gun goes for Tyler Johnson. That's his first scratch tonight. But it's 76-67 Miami. 3.5 left in the third. Ish from the elbow, around and off. Rebound, James Johnson. He still has it. Pass across the paint, tipped out of bounds by KCP, and Aaron Baines and Benno Udrih check it in. Good to see Aaron can get back in the game. Ish and Andre get a rest. 3 and 12 left in the third. Benno in the first half was 2 for 3. Dragic slides through everybody. Can't score it. Long rebound. Off Stanley Johnson, who tried to get there, was off his fingertips though, and out of bounds.
You know, Andre has his work cut out trying to keep Whiteside away. So tonight is a night when you need, or Baines in this particular case, but this is a night when you need more than one guy going to that glass.
Oh, yeah.
You need several guys going, securing it, and then trying to take off.
Ellington for Magruder for Miami. Dragic with a lot on the clock. James Johnson in the corner. Fouled by Benno before his shot. Pistons have 4 team fouls now. Miami 3. The Heat 76, the Pistons 67. Nervous crowd here at the Palace. Dragic launches, misses. Contavious with a rebound. Pistons go quickly to Benno Udrih. Knocked out of bounds by Tyler Johnson. Shot clock at 18. Richardson for Dragic. Reed for Whiteside, who doesn't want to come out. Whiteside with 14 and 6 rebounds. Benno comes to get it. Clock at 15. Screen from Tobias. Tobias steps up and guns. It won't go. Rebound James Johnson. Tyler Johnson. Corner bounces it to Richardson, who finds James Johnson for the drive. He draws the foul. Stanley Johnson got him.
Again, though, did you see the play? The floor spacing, the ball reversing, and what it does, sometimes you can get a 3 out of it, George. Other times you can show and go. You have driving opportunities, but it's the ball movement that sets it all up, and it makes everybody a threat. Now watch this. Inside, kick it out. There's one pass, there's another. Now you got a drive opportunity if you want it. You could have made even another swing of the ball and had something on the other side. But this is what Miami does to opponents night in and night out. With that ball movement, it makes it very difficult.
Johnson with 2 free throws. James Johnson makes it 78-67. 2:05 to play in the third. Benno bumped on the drive. Missed the shot, but the whistle will blow here. It's on Tyler Johnson, his third. Benno at the line. Contavious will get a rest. Marcus Morris will check in. ACP has played 30 minutes already.
Stanley Johnson will shift back to the backcourt. Stanley has played both in the front court tonight and in the backcourt, and mostly in the front court because of Marcus Morris's foul difficulties. But the versatility of guys and the need for it tonight certainly more evident.
2 big free throws for Benno. Stan Van Gundy's team now trails 78-69 with 2 minutes to play here in the third. Double team on James Johnson. He's chased, but he gets away to the baseline. The open man is Richardson. Missed it. Rebound tapped around. Hustled down by Stanley Johnson to Benno. Benno Udrih from the paint. Shot is off the heel. Minute and a half to play in the third. Richardson trying to get to the rim. Can't finish. Rebound secured by Benno Udrih. Misfiring from distance is Tobias. Rebound tapped around. Controlled by Willie Reed. Still 78-69 Miami. This could use another stop. Shot clock at 8 for Tyler Johnson. Now 7, 6, 5 for Richardson. To the paint. Tried to act up enough for a foul. Did not get the call. Benno free for the gun. It won't go. Rebound off the floor to Josh Richardson. 30 seconds to play in the third. It's still 78-69 Miami. Ellington. Rebound Marcus Morris. Pistons have 10 seconds to score. They could use a hoop. Marcus Morris fires. That's off the iron. Tyler Johnson with a rebound. His shot's going to be wide. Pistons got stops, but they could not score. And the Miami Heat will take a 9-point lead to the fourth here at the Palace. And a game the Pistons could certainly be helped out a lot with if they win. 78-69 Heat after 3 here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Pistons basketball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. For tires and auto service, everybody needs a Bell Tire guy. And by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan and Blue Care Network. Confidence comes with every card.
3 championships won here at the Palace. Let's take a look at the game summary now. Brought to you by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Do that momentarily. Miami by 9 as we start the fourth. Tyler Johnson misses. Benno Udrih with a rebound. Both teams went a long time without scoring as we finished out the third. Clock at 10. Marcus Morris screens. Benno drives, scoops, doesn't score. Aaron Baines trying to follow. No foul called. Missed the shot. Or lost the handle. Oh, didn't really get there. James Johnson from the lane misses. Aaron Baines with a rebound. .11:08 left. Still 78-69 Miami. Willie Reed called for a shove on Aaron Baines. First team fouled either way here in the fourth. Marcus Morris with the gun. It goes. Pistons finally hit a hoop. And it's now 78-71.
You know, they're right here in this game, down 7 points, and their defense fortunately holding Miami right at 78 while they were stuck on 69, George, forever.
Ellington caught in the air. Stanley Johnson on the drive, down the lane. Rejected by Tyler Johnson. Slaps it to Josh Richardson, now Reed. Fouled on the way by Benno Udrih.
I don't know if Stanley Johnson got caught in between shooting it and passing it, but George, it looked like at the very end he tried to dish it off.
Yep, you're right.
Got to shoot that. Once you commit to that, with that level of speed going to the basket, you put all the onus on the defender now.
Reed trying to screen for Richardson. Richardson off the high glass and hits it. So it's 80-71 Miami. Marcus Morris to the lane. Shot won't fall. Long rebound to James Johnson. Miami with numbers, 3-on-2. Richardson slips and falls, but Tyler Johnson has it. His shot pops out. Pistons need to take advantage now. They're down 9. 9:40 left. Backing on Josh Richardson is Tobias. Tobias with a shot. Another in and outer, but he does draw the foul. Richardson got him. Says Benny Adams. Fans purchase those 17-18 season memberships. Be part of that first season in downtown Detroit at Little Caesars Arena next year. Call 248-377-0100 or go to Pistons.com. First free throw falls for Tobias. 9:34 still to play. Pistons within 8. Second won't go. Rebound Ellington. 80-72 Miami. Just under 9.5 to go in a most important basketball game. Tyler Johnson gives it up to Richardson. James Johnson working the baseline. And he palmed the basketball. He doesn't agree with the call, but it is a turnover. And with 9:15 left, Pistons with another chance to get closer. Benno Udrih with a screen from Tobias. Outside for Tobias. His pass for Marcus Morris tapped out of bounds by Miami. Knocked out by Richardson. 13 on the 24. Benno gets a Tobias screen. Back to Tobias. Here's the long gun. It goes!
Nice.
Wow! Pistons file it down to 5.
You can see that Benno Udrih much more in control of himself tonight handling that basketball and making decisions, George.
And he looks like a little general out there.
Yeah, shook a little rust off in New York last night.
Tyler Johnson trying to shake away. Beno nearly knocks it away. Johnson shot rejected by Aaron Baines. No more time left on the 24. A shot clock violation. The ball comes back to the Pistons.
You know you play good defense when you can force a turnover via the shot clock violation. Stan Van Gundy liking what he's seeing right now.
Nice to follow a three with a stop. Timeout Miami on Fox Sports Detroit. Time for a bucket chart, the most important one, brought to you by your hometown Kentucky Fried Chicken. Tobias Harris now leads the Pistons with 19, including a huge three a moment ago. He's 7 for 12 overall and 4. See those 4 makes? 4-7 from behind the long line.
Think about Tobias. Start him, bring him off the bench. Same result, George. Stan Van Gundy talked about his consistency in New York.
Beno stays on, running the show, bounces to Tobias. Dumps it down for Aaron Baines. Tobias saw the defense come to him. Took advantage, set up his teammate.
Good smart play.
Now the Pistons are within 3 with over 8 minutes still to play. Reed dribble hands to Tyler Johnson. Richardson shot, pops out. Stanley Johnson boards it. Here come the Pistons. Beno in front. Aaron Baines jams. It's a 1-point game.
See, this group has a real nice offensive rhythm and consistency going, but they're also blending it with superb defense, which Stan Van Gundy may decide to stay with this group maybe a little bit longer, even with that make right there.
James Johnson with a big-time basket for the Heat. It was a 3, so it's 83-79 Miami.
Their baskets are scattered, George. That's just the second basket in about the last 5 minutes for the Heat.
Beno to Stanley Johnson, corner gun, no. Aaron Baines follows with a flush, but wait. We're going to call a foul on Aaron. A push off.
Like that pass from Tobias to Baines, and maybe that one as much. Beno Udrih to Aaron Baines.
But with the foul, Miami has the ball and a 4-point lead. Richardson down the lane. Jumps into Aaron Baines, and Baines is called for the foul. Clock was at 14 when they inbounded the ball. Now it's down to 8 for Dragic. 5 for James Johnson. 3 for Richardson. Ducks in, rejected by Aaron Baines. Here comes Contavious. Beno Udrih gets a screen from Aaron Baines. Beno, corner dish, Stanley Johnson. Stepped out of bounds.
Here's Aaron Baines about to depart, but not before doing this. I mean, this is rim protecting, folks. Get it out of here. I think that's what he said.
He knew the clock. He knew the guy had to come.
Yeah.
James Johnson down the lane. He and Aaron Baines hit the floor. Another foul on Aaron. Says Kevin Cutler. He has 3. The Pistons have 4 team fouls. Stream games live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports Detroit and Pistons basketball with you wherever you go. James Johnson's first free throw does fall. Miami's up 5. Pistons get Andre and Ish back in the game. Beno Udrih and Aaron Baines played big roles though in this comeback. Johnson makes them both. It's 85-79 Miami. 6 and 12 left. Marcus Morris launches and he hits it. Not afraid. He triples and the Pistons are within 3.
And he's had to play through foul difficulty. He's had to play through some unfortunate misses, but that was a big shot, gutsy shot by Marcus Morris.
Maybe the biggest shot so far for the Pistons. Dragic bothered by Andre. 5 on the clock. James Johnson. Tomahawks. Blocking foul, trying to take the charge.
He went knee first into Marcus Morris, who was trying to get over there and set himself to draw a charge, but he got there a hair late after Johnson had got in the air. And
Marcus is hurt.
This guy can rise, folks.
And he kneed him in the chest.
He threw the thing down through the rim. He never gave contact with the rim with his hand.
That's the 5th foul on Marcus. Will take a timeout. 87-82 Miami. Marcus Morris has shaken off the collision with James Johnson, who got up for a tomahawk dunk.
You may have hurt Marcus there, but he has hurt the Pistons in all of the games between these two teams this year, George. He's got 18, 20, and 15, and working on whatever he has right now. It's 17 or something like that, and counting. All of it off the bench.
16 all after the first quarter. That plus-minus stat doesn't do him any justice. Believe it or not, they got him as a -1.
Really that stat.
You can look past that one on most nights, in our opinion. He missed the free throw, though. Andre with the rebound. The Pistons are within 5. 5 and 35 to play. Tobias is on for Marcus Morris. Stanley Johnson. Another step out.
It's not necessary to bury yourself in that deep corner so that you don't give yourself a push-off when you're trying to put it on the floor. I don't know why guys do that, but they all do it so much, George. They get so far over there in that corner trying to make sure they're in three-point territory and end up turning the ball over on the catch.
Double team on Dragic. Ball batted away. Stanley has it. 3-on-2 to Tobias. Topside Ish, the Pistons will set up. Ish finds KCP for the gun. It won't go. Tapped out by Stanley to Tobias. Kentavious from the corner for 3. And that is through. The Pistons trail by only 2. 87-85.
How about the confidence of Ish to give it right back to KCP, let him take another one.
Andre knocks away the entry pass for Whiteside. KCP off iron with a shot, but look at that, Andre follow. Count that baby, and a foul. It's on Whiteside. The crowd's going crazy, the score is tied.
When you push the basketball, you're scattered. It's hard to find people to block out if you're on defense, and that's what made that putback opportunity available for Andre. And George, guess what? He didn't worry about bringing that one down.
Good-looking free throw. Bounces it through. Don't look now, but the Pistons have the lead with 4.5 to play. Timeout, Miami. The Pistons 88, the Heat 87. The crowd's on its feet at the Palace. Excellent effort by the Pistons in a game they so badly need. Timeout on Fox Sports Detroit.
Just under 4.5 minutes left to play, and the Pistons have a 1-point lead with arguably their season on the line. Grant Long and Mickey York getting ready for the postgame edition of Pistons Live. You know, a lot of people thought maybe the Pistons have given up on this season, but with the way they played here tonight, especially in this fourth quarter, that tells a different story.
I'll tell you what, Mickey, it looks like whatever was ailing the Detroit Pistons, they have found a way to get out of that here in the fourth quarter. Maybe this is the game that they needed to happen to propel them to some success in the latter part of this season.
All right, win or lose, we'll show you what this all means for the Pistons' playoff implications coming up after the game on Pistons Live. Of course, they started the night just a game and a half back of the Heat for that 8th and final playoff spot in the East, so you know what a win would mean for Detroit here tonight. Guys, we'll see you after the game on Pistons Live. George, Greg?
Thanks, fellas. Looking forward to an exciting finish. Pistons come in tonight a game and a half behind Miami. The Heat in the final playoff spot in the East at number 8. They lead the Bulls by a half a game.
Guess who Chicago's pulling for tonight, folks?
Not Miami. James Johnson, the trigger for the Heat. He and Dragic, Whiteside, Magruder, and Richardson for Miami. Dragic topside Magruder. Sideline to Richardson. Bumps off on Ish, missed the shot. Whiteside with a reach over rebound, follows it up short. Rebound saved by Tobias. Ish pushes it, then brings it back outside to set it up. Still 14 on the 24. Clock at 6 for Andre, trying to direct some traffic. Tobias will have to manufacture something. Does, off the rim. Dragic to forecourt. Richardson quickly into the corner to Magruder. Drives and hooks and hits.
A move right there.
Left-hander.
Across the lane, moving. And a defender there. And the pressure of needing to have it.
Heat by 1. KCP coaxes a foul. Is it a 2 or a 3-shot foul? Richardson commits his 4th. The officials will check out the replay.
George, you remember what we said earlier about KCP and his aggressiveness? And while he hasn't had a great shooting night percentage-wise, he's taken 21 shots. He's only made 8. But because of his assertiveness, his hunger to get the basketball, and now taking big shots, he's very dangerous in the eyes of the Miami Heat.
They're right out on him. Yeah, his foot was behind the line, as you saw on the replay. 3 free throws coming for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. 3 and 14, that's all to go in the game. Missed the first. Two more coming. Miami with an 89-88 lead. Now we are tied. Kentavious, Ish, Marcus Morris, Tobias, and Andre on the court for the Pistons. Kentavious makes the last 2, and the Pistons go back up by 1. Dragic chased outside. Pistons playing some pretty darn good defense right here. Clock at 10. Dragic gets in the air.
Outsmarted himself there, George. That's on the pass off, not the shot.
Yeah, but this is the 6th foul on Marcus Morris.
6th foul on Marcus Morris. Goran Dragic will only get 2 free throws. He won't get 3 because he wasn't shooting it, but that's a huge loss right now for the Pistons, especially considering, you know, Marcus is a good defender and can guard multiple spots, and he'll take the big shot.
First one falls for Dragic. Nails the next. Miami by 1. Stanley Johnson checks in for Marcus Morris, who just fouled out with just under 3 to play. Ish with a floating gun, no. A grab and a shove called on Tyler Johnson by Mark Davis.
Going to put Ish Smith on the line. He's the one who was taking the shot.
Shooting for Detroit Smith.
First one goes for Ish. Ish was 17 and 6 assists. Only a pair of turnovers. Missed the second. Now we are even at 91 with 2:38 to go in the game. Dragic hooks it outside to Magruder. Clock at 5 already. Magruder, Dragic, clock at 1. Off the front of the rim, rebound Tobias. Way up for Stanley Johnson to the basket. Missed on the scoop, and it's an offensive foul.
You know the problem there, George, is that Stanley made his intentions known way too early. That was an easy charge drawn this time by Dragic. Because right now, look at that. He's just waiting. I think you got to keep the dribble and make another move. Make a cut to go by him or slide by him, not right into him.
That one hurts.
Yeah.
2 and 10 left.
Dodge the bullet there for Miami.
Pistons really turned up the defense. Clock at 7 for the Heat. Dragic dishes to Whiteside. 2 on the clock. Stumbles into Andre, who's called for the foul.
You know what Whiteside's effort kind of reminds me of tonight, playing with that bandaged hand? Remember when the Pistons were in Indiana and they had to go against Thaddeus Young, who had the bruised up left wrist, but he shot and shoveled his way to 18 points that night. Yep. And sort of what Whiteside is doing right now.
Got 1 for 2 at the free throw line. Miami leads by 1. 1:53 to play. 92-91 Miami. Ish to forecourt. Tobias with a screen. They get the switch. Magruder playing Tobias. Clock at 7. Backs him in. Rises and guns. It won't go. Rebound. Chased down by Tyler Johnson. Miami moving that basketball. Tyler Johnson with a shot. No. Magruder with a rebound.
Somehow able to come off the three-point line with a running start. No one there to block him out. Miami gets a new 24.
Only 1:04 to play. They have a 1-point lead. Dragic trying to turn that corner. Magruder almost lost it. Now he shoots it. It's off the heel. KCP with a rebound.
There you go.
50 seconds left. Contavious for 3. And it's through. He made his intentions known as well. He wanted that shot. And folks, he knocked it down.
Tell you what else he wanted, George. He wanted that rebound. That defensive rebound.
went hard for the board and then tripled. The Pistons are up 2 with 45 seconds left. Timeout Miami on Fox Sports Detroit. Our Dodge Primetime Performance focuses on the fourth quarter comeback.
And it's going to focus on some defense because they wouldn't even be in this position, the Pistons, were it not for the defense that brought them back. Big shots, though, and plenty of them. Good decisions as well. Tobias. And then Beno both times to Aaron Baines. And now it's KCP time, folks.
Back and forth ball game. 5 lead changes and 4 ties in this fourth quarter. Octavius with 25. And now the Pistons can play some more D. They lead by 2. 45 seconds to go in the game. And the inbound pass goes off the foot of Magruder. Pistons need to take advantage of that gift.
Don't want to take a chance of Andre getting fouled, setting a screen. Intentionally, that is. There's the turnover right there in front of the Pistons bench. So you get Aaron Baines back out there on the floor. This is strategy near the end of the game. Being proactive if you're the Pistons. Get him off the floor.
Aaron Baines on for Andre. 36 seconds to play. Ish trying to shake away from James Johnson. Now he fires, and he fills it up! This place is bedlam! The Pistons 96, Miami 92. 30 seconds left. Another huge Piston hoop. This one from Ish Smith. Pistons 96, Miami 92. Timeout Heat on Fox Sports Detroit. Eric Spoelstra, just with a long comment from Mark Davis, one of the officials. Both he and Stan Van Gundy have worked these guys tonight.
Big game,
Game
important
means
game.
so much to both these teams. Pistons are in dire straits, but Miami's still just hanging on to that final spot. The Heat to inbound.
Oh.
Stanley Johnson too close to the inbounder.
Well, Stanley's trying to apply a pressure here, and this is perilously close to a 5-second count. Probably would have been, but he got a toe on that line, and they're not allowing that this year. That's big, George. I can't tell you how big that is.
That's a three-point game with 30 seconds left.
And a new shot clock.
James Johnson the inbound.
You got the same 24 that was up there before, same situation, just now a one-possession game.
Bounce to Dragic. Dragic from in front, around and down.
Keeps the pressure on the Pistons now.
24.5 seconds to play. The Pistons with a 1-point lead. They shove KCP, and the ball is kicked by the Heat. Wow, because they didn't call a foul, they don't call that kick. The Pistons could have lost possession.
Got to be careful inbounding down on this end of the floor too. Make sure you secure it.
Octavius against Tyler Johnson. This is to Stanley Johnson. Swarmed. Oh, they're going to call a jump ball.
Miami got all they wanted out of this. You know why, George? They didn't have to foul. They're going to get a jump ball. So it's anybody's basketball after it's tossed up. Now Stanley got harassed over there, but they did not see contact enough to call a foul and put him on the free throw line. Pistons got to move around the circle because you got to figure the advantage on this jump ball.
James Johnson's going to jump, yeah.
Yep. You got to move and try and steal it.
14.7 seconds to go in the game. Kevin Cutler makes the throw. Tapped by the Heat. Dragic almost lost it to KCP. 11.3 to play. Pistons with a 1-point lead. Miami will take a timeout. How much closer can this one get?
Well, it speaks to just how important it is. You talked about it, George. Here's the jump ball, and watch KCP nearly snatch this thing, man. If he had another foot of space over there, he may have had to steal.
Teammates know how close that was.
Now, here's what's at stake here, folks. Miami holding on at 8. If they lose this, they then become in a tie with Chicago having the tiebreaker. So Miami, in effect, would be out. So that's how important it is for them. And we don't even want to start talking about how badly Detroit needs it.
Well, this is a defensive stand the Pistons need to make. It's a 1-point Piston lead. 96-95, 11.3 seconds to go in regulation. Magruder. Into backcourt to James Johnson. 8 seconds, 7. Johnson with a jumper. Off iron. Ball comes down. Dragic throws it up. No. Oh! Shot tapped it in. No! If that counts, this is a killer loss for the Pistons. The officials will check the replay right now. Hand on the rim before that.
Oh, wow. By that look right there, George, it is well off of Whiteside's hands. Well, I think we know what this call is going to be. Wow.
Officials making sure the Pistons had taken this thing away from the Heat, who had the lead for most of the game.
Play stand, successful 2-point, Miami win.
What a terrible loss for the Pistons here tonight. Whiteside with a tap, our final score. Miami 97, the Pistons 96. Now we'll send it to Mickey York and Grant Long at the Dodge postgame desk, standing by with Pistons Live postgame.
All right, George, thank you. This one hurts in more ways than one. Coming up on Pistons Live, we'll examine their playoff chances after tonight's loss to the Heat. Miami, how were they able to beat the Pistons tonight? We'll look at the job they were able to do down low tonight, including another look back at the game winner. Big Ben back in the house tonight. We'll give you a look at his return to the Palace and what Stan Van Gundy going to have to say after a gut-wrenching loss for his Pistons. All that and more coming up next on a post-game edition of Pistons Live.